Hey everyone, this is Laura Gdenek with Laura Gdenek Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for the weeks of March 21st through April 3rd, 2022. So, as with all astrology, there are positive ways the planetary energy can play out and more negative and challenging ways. This week definitely seems to be a mix of both, or have the major potential for both. We have a lot of Mercury in Pisces action, making a conjunction to Jupiter on Monday and then Neptune on Wednesday. This is a very dreamy place for Mercury to be. Mercury here in Pisces wants to go with the flow, wants to get lost in magic, wants to explore otherworldly things and topics and places. Mercury in Pisces does not want to act in a linear, logical way. It's very, once again, magic oriented, big ideas oriented, being ruled by Jupiter. With Mercury conjoining Jupiter on Monday, that's today, the 21st. And you might have noticed this on Saturday and Sunday as well. Mercury and Jupiter together are about big ideas, inspiration, faith, insight. You might have found that it's more difficult to delve into the details, to do detailed tasks. I know for me, I'm in school and I had this assignment due in my research methods class where I had to meticulously go through a research paper and check off that all of these things in the research paper were there, and I was just not having it. I just couldn't do it. It was so hard. That is the exact opposite of Mercury in Pisces conjoined to Jupiter. Mercury conjoined with Jupiter in Pisces wants to philosophize, wants to have mystical experiences, wants to explore and create and flow and explore religions or big ideas, wants to travel. Yesterday, for instance, I went to a kirtan on 7th East in Salt Lake City, and then later I did a holotropic breathwork session and had all of these kind of insights and inspirations and ideas, and it was such a Mercury Jupiter and Pisces day. And then I had that research paper and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. So that's kind of the vibe of this week, is just not wanting to work, really, not wanting to have to deal with details or plans or stick with plans. There's definitely a lot of potential for miscommunication, especially on Wednesday when Mercury conjoins Neptune. Miscommunication, foggy details, foggy communication, mishaps, misplacements, losing things, confusion in general. Once again, Mercury here between Jupiter and Pisces just wants to wander, create, dream, get lost, enter another world, a fantasy world or otherwise. It's really a great time to delve into maybe a book series or a movie series or meditation, of course, song, dance. These are all very Piscean things. And in the midst of that, in the middle of that, on Tuesday the 22nd, Mars in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus and Taurus. This is a very disruptive energy. We just had Venus in Aquarius make this square to Uranus and Taurus, which might have been very disruptive in relationships, not only romantic relationships, but relationships in general. There might have been a sense of breaking free from something or doing something in an unconventional way with regards to relationships that resulted in more freedom, hopefully. Venus Uranus is updating your style, and this is, that can play out in so many different ways, but getting that tattoo you finally wanted, or getting new clothes that finally you feel like they reflect who you are more, but they're kind of edgy or out there, or there's a few different things with Venus. And now Mars is making this square to Uranus, and really this is about an urge for freedom, to get away from something, to break free. This is a very rebellious aspect that's happening, and you might just kind of want to, say, screw it, I don't care, I'm just gonna like float away to la la land with Mercury and Pisces. There's definitely a need to break free from something structured or restrictive, because Mars and Venus are approaching a conjunction with Saturn, Lord of discipline, commitment, and duty. It could be that you break through something tough or something that's felt stuck with Mars square Uranus. But yeah, just be careful. This is definitely kind of like accident prone astrology, and very spontaneous, but also like impulsive. So, make sure to give yourself the space to dream and get lost and wander and, enter another realm, right? But I would advise, don't take it too far, and it's great to break free from something in the moment, but then like there are consequences for that often. So just think about that, right? And give yourself freedom in small ways, and ways that can be contained if possible. So okay, so Saturday the 26th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. Always a good day when Mercury is conjoined, or not conjoined, but in aspect with Pluto, to have deep inquiry, uncovering something, journaling, maybe some realizations. And then the 27th, Mercury heads into Aries. So this is waking Mercury up from its kind of sleepy slumber that it's been in Pisces. And a Mercury in Aries is ready to go, ready to make plans. It's very straightforward and direct in terms of communications with others. So also watch out for that, because that can kind of bite sometimes. And then on the 28th is when Venus conjoins Saturn. So once again, Venus just squared Uranus, and now she's squaring Saturn on the 28th. And so Venus-Saturn is very much so about deeper dedications in relationships, like making stronger commitments. Could be a deeper dedication to an art. Once again, relationship strengthening, getting more serious, a sense of needing to get clear and serious around one's values, and therefore one's boundaries in relationships. Venus ruled houses might feel a sense of limitation. So the houses that have Taurus and Libra on the cusp, there might be a sense of restraint or restriction there for a little bit, a couple days. Could feel difficult to have fun or let loose. Or on the flip side, you might find that you found a new hobby that requires some commitment, some practice, some discipline. And that could be a good way to utilize the energy. Once again, just putting it into context, when Venus squared Uranus, it was kind of this like break free moment of like, I'm free in relationships, or I want to try out this new thing, that like a new hobby, or I want to, get some new clothes or get a tattoo or a piercing or something. And Venus Saturn can be like, okay, there are consequences to that. Or Venus Saturn can be like, okay, cool, we want to do this new thing. We want to try this new thing in these Venusian realms. Okay, that's going to require dedication and discipline and commitment. Let's do this. So that's kind of what I'm thinking with Venus Saturn. Monday through Wednesday of next week, so the 28th through, gosh, I can't remember how many days are in March. I don't know, but next week, Monday through Wednesday, the moon is in Pisces. And whenever the moon is in Pisces, it's always going to be good days, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is currently in its own sign of Pisces. So just look out for those days to be very connective and flowing and creative, and they're just going to overall feel good. Saturday, April 2nd is when Mercury conjoins the Sun in Aries. This might be kind of similar to that Mercury sextile Pluto that happened on March 26th, where there might be some insights, some new awarenesses, some clarity around something. Whenever a planet conjoins the sun and enters the heart of the sun, that planet's significations are illuminated and given light. And Mercury representing the mind, representing communications, This could be, once again, a personal insight that you have, or a clarity. It could be, you know, a message shows up that you've been needing somehow. It could be clarifying conversations and suddenly like something is revealed. Yeah, you might have some aha moments. So I'd recommend, like, you know, carrying a journal around or have your phone at the ready to write down some notes for sure. So yeah, that is the astrology for the next couple of weeks. I would say this first upcoming week is the more intense week, astrologically speaking. And the next week, like once Venus conjoins Saturn and she moves out of being in between Mars and Saturn, the two malefics, things are gonna feel a lot better. Venus will be in the clear, and especially once she enters Pisces, which will be in the next video, there's going to be a real treat in whatever house in your chart has Pisces on the cusp. So yeah, this upcoming week, the astrology is a bit more tough, mentally speaking. Be mindful also of, you know, letting yourself experience and express grief. Sometimes Pisces, where Mercury is and where Neptune can also signify loss. So sometimes, you know, Mercury and Pisces, especially with Neptune, can feel a little sad, can feel a little dazed and melancholic, I would say. So, you know, there's always a time for that. So allow yourself the space and time to grieve if necessary, feel sad if necessary. It's okay to not be okay sometimes, and just give yourself all the love and self-care that you possibly can. And I hope everyone has a lovely couple of weeks. Please reach out if you are curious how this is showing up in your personal birth chart. Otherwise, I'll be back in a couple weeks with the next astrological video. Okay, bye.